Okay, so we are going to get started on the blanket stitch this week. First, you get your face, you look at the colors in your little piece that you've made here, and you think what color background would look nice. So I thought with this, I was going to use this color because it's the same as the stitching. Not a requirement. Yours does not have to match the stitching, but just something that works nicely with it. Then you're going to see that when you come over to get your fabric, I'm giving you two pieces. You get one square, two squares. One you're gonna fold up and put in your bin in the back. Okay, you're not gonna use that one until after we learn how to sew on the sewing machine. The second one is the one we're gonna work on, and you're going to place your face so it's nice and square in the middle. I would even grab a ruler and double check that it's the middle. Mine could go up just a little bit. And yeah, otherwise looks pretty good. Then you're gonna get some pins. I just happen to have some pins sitting here. Please hold. So far I've been working with one hand, so I'm gonna make that adjustment right now. Okay. And you only need let's say 4 pins. So we're going to pin this through both layers, this and the backing. Go all the way to the back and come all the way back up. And I would say probably you need 4 pins all the way through and all the way back up. All the way through and all the way back up. So on the back, you should see that you have 4 pins. Okay, now you're going to go get your large needle. If you, for some reason, lost it or gave it back by accident, whatever, it doesn't matter, come get one. And we're gonna figure out what color thread you wanna do around your felt piece. Okay, so getting started again, I threaded my large needle here. Please excuse my Band-Aid. Remember, with this type of embroidery thread, the big thick thread, we want to have a short one and a long one. And then I'm going to tie my knot. And there's nothing new here. This knot tying is the same old, everything we're doing right here is the same thing we did all last week with our name. Okay. Now, in order to start the blanket stitch, we want to come up from underneath, and this is exactly what we did before, except this time the only difference is we're using the thick thread and the big needle. Pull it all the way through. My knot should be all the way on the back. I should be right at the edge of the felt, going through the back, not going through the felt. This is felt, this is flannel, or maybe yours is cotton. They're all cotton. And then the decorative blanket stitch, we're gonna go over and down. It's exactly what you did when you did the sample one for the little piece with the button on it. Make sure your thread is behind there. If you need to grab your old sample piece that we're gonna eventually turn in and practice, you're welcome to practice. If you wanna grab one of those pieces of felt from over in Kitchen 7 and practice, you could do that. Whatever you need to do to make sure that once you get started, you know what the heck you're doing. So 2 things you can do that will cause major problems. Number 1, if you fail to put your second piece in your bin and just ignore it for a long time, that is a fail. If you are sewing on 2 pieces, you just blew it. You are making now a placemat instead of a pillow. Pillows need 2 sides. Just like if you're making one of those little felties, they have 2 body pieces, right? So that's a major mistake. You don't want to make that mistake, okay? The other major mistake you can make is sewing and holding this folded. And that is something I've seen tons of you guys do, and you really cannot do it. You cannot do this stitch like this, because when you do, I'm going to show you right now what's going to happen. You're going to make your pillow half the size it should be. So when you're doing that, Look how wrong it is. Okay, now thankfully with this stitch and this huge thread, I can go back and pull this out. And if you do that, I will make you start over. So just remember how we do the blanket stitch the right way. Okay, so the right way is over and down equal amounts, go through both all the way to the back, come up right at the edge, do not go through the felt, pull away from you. Some of you learned the hard way when we were doing the names that if you take too much embroidery thread, it is not good. You end up destroying the embroidery thread before you're done with it, and then it's like all tattered and really hard to pull through. So remember, please, nose to fingertip is really and truly the length that you want. Okay, so the blanket stitch over and down. Okay, so just like that all the way around. And when you get to the corner, kind of assess where you're at, and then you want to make an equal stitch here. Go down up towards the existing side that you're sewing on. Second stitch goes down and comes up right underneath that pointy corner. Third stitch. Remember, don't pull super, super hard either. Like, you have to keep it so that the thread ends right there at the edge. And then down and to the new side that you're going to be traveling down. Okay, and then that's how you make a perfect corner. I think the corners are a little bit easier with this thread. I hope you find the same. And then to finish up, if you are short on thread, which I am, I'm going to push my needle through to the back right here, right where I was when I had the needle on this side, turn it over, tie my same old knot that we've been doing 100 million times now. I told you we would need that one. Okay, and then make sure you leave a tail, and then just get a new piece of thread. And if you have to start again, you start by coming up right where you left off. So you would start right there. Okay, that's it.